Welcome to the Adeptus of the Brush. Now, in post-production, this is what the final model is going to look like. I'll put this up at the start of each of the parts so you can see it. And if people would like to see a condensed time-lapse of the whole painting process reduced down without the waffling, I'm more than happy to put one up if people leave a comment and tell me that's what they want to see. So, unfortunately, there are quite a few parts to this video. It's quite a long process, so this is one of the parts, and you'll see this at the beginning of the following parts as well until the final reveal. If you like what you've seen, please leave a like and subscribe and leave a comment. Now, we've added those washes on to the top section. We're almost finished, but we need to highlight up this metallic trim that goes around these parts, which we're going to do with straight Balthasar silver. We've then got to paint that red, or that canister in, mostly in red. We've got some bronze to put back on here, and then we will probably put the verdigris and that on after we've done the almost final step. What size brush am I going to use for this? I don't need it to be too small, same size as what we've been using. This time I'm going to use straight Balthasar gold. Actually, I may mix a little bit of skull brush brass in, just to keep it in line with the rest of the colours we've used. Won't need a huge amount of this. I'm going to take most of it off my brush. And this is just for these trims. I just want a bit of a lighter colour on it, and then we can put our final colours in. It just matches it in a little bit, but better with the other colours, and dries this into sort of brass, not gold. Just making sure I've done sufficient to convince that it looks uniform in colour. I find it just warms the colour up a little bit. again, just for completeness, I'm just going to go around the edges, a little bit of this, and then we'll put a final edge highlight on, probably a Stormhost silver, just to finish it off. We obviously need to do the top side as well. Just a case of this helps wipe out any inconsistencies, any bits you're not so happy with. That's why I do it. I didn't have to, but I just think it makes the model look better. Don't know where that water's coming from. Seems to be too much water in the brush at that point. It's just this end section now. Literally, don't know. Yeah, that's not going to focus. Trying to get it on camera for you. I'm pulling from the middle to the edge again. Try and get that edge. So what I need to do now is just give that a quick edge with some Stormhost. Bizarrely, I'm only going to do this on the one edge. I'm going to do it on the face facing the drill head. So try and take most of the silver off the brush. Just catch that leading edge. Doesn't have to be complete. Same with the section. I will go down the sides somewhat, but not all the way. What I'm trying to create is the illusion that the wear is on the front edges. So if I went all the way around, it would just look like I'd edge highlighted it, whereas doing this, I'm putting it specifically on the front faces, on the near sides. For instance, I'm going to miss the rest of those bits. Come along there. But then I'm going to miss the rest of the front, and then I'm going to try and do some of this inside edge at the bottom. Yeah, that'll do. It just makes it look like the wear is coming from one direction, which is what I'm trying to achieve. Now, we've got a couple of little sections left to do. Some of them are slightly trickier than others. So I'm going to take the skull crusher brass, Just load a little bit onto one of my big makeup brushes. I just want to try and catch this cog all the way around with a little bit of this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a tiny smidge of Stormcloak silver into this brush, dab most of it out, turn it in one direction, and then this is effectively driving in by screwing in, as far as I can tell. So I will try and put all the lighter drag marks towards the front tip, and I will try and drag them round the same way. They might not be complete, they might not all be there, I don't care, it doesn't matter. I just want it looking like it's turned in one direction principally. And hopefully what we've got is a little bit of silver in that at the front edge. Just don't know if you can see that there, but there is a glint of silver at the front. So almost ready to put this on the model. So we're in the last few bits and pieces. So I will quickly nip into, and I'm going to go straight for Mephiston Red. Just more or less just an accent colour at this point. I'm just going to outline the top of this red tank. And again, I'm trying to make it look a little bit patchy, because I actually want to look a little bit like a braided metal. We'll come in and do something to help with that in a minute. Now, I'm not going to worry about the little tank that's on there, or the little gauge that's on there, should I say, because we're going to put some typhus corrosion on. So some of the details I could have done, I am choosing not to do, because I do want this to look like this has travelled into the ground before and has been used and recovered multiple times. Try and make the back of it look a bit better. Yeah, I've got it where I didn't want it. Can we rescue that? Probably not. No, we got rid of it. We did manage to get rid of it. There's a tiny little mistake there that I will live with that. Alright, we are definitely on to the final straight. In the back of this, we just got to correct some of the Iron Warrior on the back plate. I was originally going to go with a different colour for the plate at the back, but I decided no, I'm just going to keep it red, keep with what we've done for the rest of the model. So very quickly I need to put some Iron Warrior over this before we put our final colour down. Again, I'm not going to worry too much about this being really neat. I'm not even going to care that the pigments are running around at the moment, as we will make use of all of this sort of detail later on. So yeah, I'll do with that. I'll live with that. The only other colour I wanted to put back in was some bronze on the pipe work. So this was the base colour that went down, that we then washed with some inky darkness. I just want to re-establish some of this bronze. So I'm just going to go around the pipes, one direction. So we've made it all the way around once, so I'll turn it over. Right, we have made it all the way around with that bronze colour. I think there's a little plate on the back. Yeah, there is. There's a little plaque on the back that I'm going to put some of this on. We can come back with that some verdigris later. And I'm just going to likewise coat the hatch handle in some of this. Now I need to leave that to cure properly, because before I can put the typhus corrosion on, what I really want to do is let it completely cure so I can give it a good dust and get rid of any of these tiny little flakes of paint that still remain from where we stripped off the marskull. But to give you a glimpse of where we're at, that is now resting on the rail. We just need to come in with some typhus corrosion, need to finish off these gold wheels, and other than that we are more or less done. So let's set that aside to cure, and in the meantime I'm going to give both of these spokes a wash with some Gulliman flesh before we come back over them with our top colour. This time I'm just going to use it straight out of the pot. I'm only interested in getting the inside details, I'm not interested in the edge. I just want to give something that we can dry brush up and highlight. That just picks out all the recesses on that wheel. We just do the same on the other side. So I was just given both those cogs on the side a coat of Gulliman flesh, and we'll leave that to dry, and we'll come back when that's completely cured. Alright, very quickly folks, what I'm going to do is take some skull crusher brass on my dry brush, and I'm just going to highlight up these wheels. So just trying to catch the edges of the spokes. I'm trying to make sure I'm not going into the model as such. I don't want to get any of this on the red that's already been done. I want more or less this to be the final highlight on these red wheels before I have to pick out that Adeptus Mechanicus. So I might just have to dab this round the sides to highlight that wheel up. So it's that side, same for the other side. Do this a little bit faster. Looks like, oh no, I've got some gold there. It's alright. Just wanted some consistency. Yes, I've literally just dry brushed that all. Now, leave that to cure off. We're going to give the console a little bit of a wash. For that, I'm going to actually use the Seraphim Sepia, because it changes the tone slightly. Makes it look a little bit more coppery. So just a quick wash of that over the top will suffice for that part. And I'm going to pause the film in there, get it dusted off, and put the typhus corrosion on as the next step.